So he fought in the Union Army during the Civil War. He was wounded at the Battle of Shiloh. Reportedly, his horse was shot out from under him, and he himself was wounded, but kept fighting, stayed in the war. He was reported to have personally taken at least one Confederate soldier prisoner by hauling him bodily off the battlefield by his collar. After the Civil War, President Ulysses S. Grant named him to be America's Secretary of War. And then stuff started to go wrong. On the relatively meager salary that came with that cabinet position, William Worth Belknap, a Civil War hero, distinguished soldier, Secretary of War, started throwing really lavish parties in Washington. And that was true with his first wife. It was also true with his second wife. He was just very obviously living this ostentatious high society life of conspicuous consumption in Washington that nobody knew he should be able to afford. Nobody knew where the money was coming from until they figured it out. Because it turned out where he was getting all the money from is that he was taking bribes. He was taking tens of thousands of dollars in bribes as Secretary of War. People who wanted jobs related to the U.S. military of the 1870s. Apparently, one of the ways you could get one of those jobs was to grease the palm of War Secretary William Belknap. And he got caught for it. And as a cabinet secretary, he was subject to impeachment by the Congress. And he got impeached for being that corrupt. They brought 5 articles of impeachment against him for him prostituting his office for personal profit. And the vote looked like it was going to be a unanimous impeachment vote in the House on those 5 counts. But upon figuring out that it was going to be a unanimous impeachment vote against him, War Secretary William Belknap raced bodily to the White House. He reportedly burst into tears upon his arrival and then quickly submitted his resignation to President Ulysses S. Grant. He appears to have thought at the time that if he just resigned quickly enough, if he just resigned before the impeachment vote was taken, then the House couldn't actually impeach him. That's what he thought. He was wrong. Just 2 hours after he started crying at the White House and turned in his resignation to President Grant, the House went ahead and voted to impeach the War Secretary anyway. There were 5 counts. It was a unanimous vote. He was impeached, even though he was already out of office by then because Grant had accepted his resignation. Now, after he was impeached in the House, the impeachment articles against this now former official went over to the Senate for them to put him on trial. And interestingly, the Senate, they did put him on trial, but they didn't vote to convict him. A majority of the senators at the time voted to convict him, but you need a full 2/3 vote of the Senate, and 2/3 of the vote they could not get. So William Belknap was impeached in the House. He was not convicted in the Senate. But his experience proved and provided the precedent that, yes, impeachment is a remedy to be applied by the Congress for a federal office holder, and its availability as a remedy does not evaporate once that person leaves office. Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.